We made it. How are we doing?
Super.
Great.
Woo!
Last day of the whole life coach certification. Well, what do you feel? Do you feel like you learned something?
Yes.
Yeah? Good, good, good. You know, when I was younger, probably around 12 years old, my grandfather was old school. And, yeah, I don't think he really cared for himself too much. He couldn't let go of hardly anything. My grandmother was a lot easier. And my grandmother used to always say to me, because I used to live with them, "Sweetie, your grandfather's not grumpy. He's just constipated." I didn't know what she meant, but now I do. I'll be honest with you. I won't live with toxic people. If I could redo everything, you know, a person's personality becomes your reality. You really need to watch out. I don't want any friends that don't challenge me. And I'm not talking about challenging my beliefs. I'm talking about challenging me to grow, to love more, to care more, to feel more, to hear more, to really listen, to really grow. I don't know how people hang in there. There are so many dysfunctional relationships and so many abusive relationships, emotionally and physically, and even the friendships. Those are friendships? I mean, today, you know, understand something. You're not going to grow unless you learn how to be in the conscious moment and own it and challenge yourself. I mean, please don't get me wrong, and people are going to take this wrong, but I'm not challenged by anybody. Nobody challenges you. Most people have given up. Everybody thinks awful things, eats awful things, drinks awful things. Anxiety is right through the roof with everyone. I was talking to someone this morning, all you gum chewers out there, when you chew gum, like people that chew gum all the time, they're dumping adrenaline in their body 24/7. When you chew gum, you're telling your stomach to dump hydrochloric acid and pepsin into your stomach. You're destroying your whole life. You do not chew anything unless you're eating. And understand something. I said to somebody this morning, you know, you're not going to be focused if you chew gum. Oh, I'm very focused. Well, just think what would happen if they stopped chewing gum. Remember something, I urinate really good. How many guys do you urinate with? I poo really good. How many people do you poo with? You don't know what you're even talking about. And understand something, the majority of the population, I am not better, so remember that. I'm here to help to train and master and hopefully not be a fraud. And actually give you the real thing, actually hold the line for you, actually take you to the cliff and have you take a look at how far and how hard the fall is going to be. And understand something, the majority of the population is falling fast. God, the teenage generation right now, I know that my grandfather said it about teenagers and my father said it about us, and now no. The teenagers today are lost. They're totally lost. They're totally lost. You know, this next generation, okay, is going to be a mess. Is going to be a mess. I mean, right off the bat, okay, 1 out of 28 children born are autistic or on the spectrum. And what the hell is on the spectrum? On the spectrum is too much sugar, too much dairy, no nutrition in the food. Parents eat like crap. There's no on the spectrum. Everybody that has ever brought me a child that's on the spectrum within a few weeks wasn't on the spectrum. Everything is a scientific medical diagnosis, and you run away with it, and that becomes your crippling system for the rest of your life. God. I went to get my hair cut yesterday. And from the car, which might have been 500 feet, 3 people were dragging their legs and just like this, limping. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. All you medical guys, you don't know anything about health. All you natural health people, you don't know anything about health. With all the chiropractors and naturopaths, and with all the physiotherapists, and with all the massage therapists, and all the acupuncturists, and all the energy workers. Okay, let me just I'm challenging you all to give a money-back guarantee right now. Or shut the heck up because you don't know what you're talking about. The whole world is limping out here. Obesity is gone. I mean, obesity, okay, all right, so here it is. You want to know what's going to be the end of this world? Diabetes. Diabetes is a new disease, and guess what? Diabetes is going to end it all. We don't need to do anything. We just need to sit back, and that's that, and watch everybody blow up with fat. Because guess what? Emotionally, they're killing themselves and they're eating continually or chewing gum, the anxiety or drinking or smoking or toking, or they're vegged out on the TV, hiding out, or they're playing games because they can't deal with anything. This teenage generation behind us, it's a catastrophe. It's a catastrophe. And 1 out of 28 children have autism. And, you know, and nobody, the population doesn't come together. We got about 150 psychos that are creating this whole thing and then paying human beings off to be human doings, to poison everyone and to disrespect everyone and teach crap. I never learned anything good at school. I learned how to do math. I got pretty good at that. But it was basic math I was good at, anything past basic math. But I don't need anything more than basic math, and neither does anyone else. And then we got these idiot teachers teaching math that nobody ever uses. My God, kids today, they can't read, they can't write, and they can't do math. Guess what? And then guess what? They're lost because guess what? They've lost their identity. No, they didn't lose their identity. It was stolen from them, from the same psychos that put the diaper on your face. And I'm not angry. It's just a shame. It's just a shame. I don't know if we're going to come back from this. Well, I don't think so. I think it's going to take about 2 or 3 generations. But it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter what happens, because guess what? I challenge myself to have a beautiful day every day, to stay in the moment, to love myself, to not get angry, to not be depressed or have anxiety. I cannot care what the majority of the population are doing, because the majority of the population is killing themselves. But you don't even see it. You don't even see it. Human beings are human doings. They walk around, you know. You know what? If you're not obese or at least overweight, you're underweight and you can't gain weight because you hate yourself that much. And the reality is how many people know that 98% of the population are full of worms? So everybody goes to get a worm cleanse. Why would you do a worm cleanse? Why wouldn't you want to create a perfect day for yourself? Or wouldn't want to do that? Wouldn't want to create a perfect day on an emotional and physical level? Wouldn't want to do gentle baby loving steps all day long, loving this body, loving this mind, and mastering this mind? Wouldn't want to do that. No, I'm going to wait until I'm going to eat crap, feel like crap, and then go and do a worm cleanse, and then try to get rid of the heavy metals. I will never have worms. They can't exist in me. I'll never have heavy metals, even though there's heavy metals in the sky, in the water, in the food, because I do black diamond and black gold every day. I do C60 every day. And I only need to do a little bit through the day. Why wouldn't you do a little bit every day so you don't have to call the bulldozer in? Why would you just treat your body like an emergency 9/11 all the time? Well, I'll tell you why. Because guess what? When you're an emergency 9/11, now you've got everybody paying attention to you. You let yourself get sick because you're not going to get the love that you need from your partner, from your children, or from anyone, because it was never their job. You were sold that on Disney. Okay, where's your white knight, girls? Where's your white knight? Okay, huh? Or you'll see somebody go by on a donkey before you'll have a white knight. And that's because you're an ass for waiting. He's not coming. And if he's coming, it's only because he wants to. He wants something.
Yeah.
Understand something. You got to save yourself. You got to look after yourself. You got to care for yourself. Daryl, Grandpa's not grumpy. He's just constipated. Well, that's what most people are on an emotional level, more than even on a physical level. And then it becomes really bad until you rot out. Every disease in your body is your body rotting. And it's because of that stinking thinking, because you don't think. It is so easy to abuse people because everybody has this thing where they need to suffer so much every day to realize that they're alive. Right? 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 Look at you. You. Holy crap. It's just all over the place here. You. The unworthiness, trying to kill yourself, didn't work did it? No, you're doing a really crappy job. You're still walking. You. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. All you had to do was love and care for yourself, but you couldn't do that. Why? Because if you did, you'd go to hell. If you totally loved and cared for yourself, you'd go to hell. Meanwhile, if you did that, you would get your family out of hell. If you just hold the line for 9 months and birth the authentic self and see the crest of your head pop out and go, there's the new me. All you had to do is hold the line, wait for your family to pick on you, to try to pull you back down where they are. Listen, I vibrate much higher than the population I'm around. And that's wherever I go. I didn't say it was better. I didn't say it was smarter. I didn't say anything. I said I choose to vibrate higher. I choose to love and respect this guy. I mean, does it look like I don't love and respect myself? Yeah. Okay. Do I really give a shit what you think about me? No. And I swore because I'm trying to show you something. You can't care what your family thinks about you. You can't care what society thinks about you. It is none of your business. If you are loving and caring for yourself, that means that you are not poisoning the planet. You are not poisoning your family. You are not poisoning yourself. Do you get this? And guess what? You will not be allowed to do that. And unless you're going to hold the line for 9 months, hey, your husband's going to like this. But if you start rising even more and more, he's going to pull you down and order pizza. He's going to pull you down and say just one drink. He's going to pull you down and go, come on. Because everybody wants you to vibrate where they are. Listen, I don't want you to vibrate where I am. Do you know how hard it is to lift you all up and keep you there? And that it's exhausting. And then soon as my arms get tired, bam, you're going to drop right down to where you were anyway. How many times did you try to help someone, save someone, and guess what? And then you got angry at them, and you even hated them because of all the energy and the time you spent with them. Look at your husband. Good luck. I can't even talk to you about this. So don't even think you're allowed to. And I love her. But do you understand? She's insane. Insane. And guess what? I'm insane. And that's what people say. You're crazy. You're insane. You need to be shut down. You need to be shut up. Oh, no, let's just keep on letting it happen like this. I don't think so. I don't think so. Remember something. If you're in the room that I'm in, you're ruining my vibration. You're pulling my vibration down. So at least if I'm the guy who's teaching, there's hope that we can keep the vibration up during here. Right? Nobody's allowed to tell their stories here. You're only allowed to tell the story enough so we can see where you came from, but we never tell the story again. And every one of you, you tell your story. It's just like always there. I can hardly wait to tell my victim story. The teenagers today, they're all victims. The harvest hasn't even begun yet. Hadn't even begun. What's gonna help these teenagers wake up? And then this 3 years of COVID, watching their parents, okay, crap their drawers and fear something that doesn't exist. Well, that was it. We destroyed them. We destroyed them. Now they're going to have purple hair and they're going to have rings. That's how they rebel. Because guess what? The parents had no ovaries. The parents had no balls. So now guess what? They don't know what rebellion is. If the parents don't rebel, okay, then how are the kids going to rebel? So the only way is orange hair and rings and tattoos and drugs and quitting. And quitting. I quit. I just want to thank all the adults for the last 3 years. I held the line. I was in trouble most of the time. I'm still in trouble. I'm in trouble right now. But I don't care. Because I don't have to live with anybody. I don't have to listen to anybody. Because I don't care what people are talking about. Because guess what? 95% of the population doesn't even know what it's saying. Yes or no? Yeah, think about this. I want you to think about all the times before you started this class, how you were talking and you were just vomiting on people. Think about it. You wanted to tell people how hard you had it, how hard you have it. And how did that help you? How does that help you?
0.
And you do it a lot, don't you? Yeah. It's almost like a ba, right? And I'm not trying to pick on you. It's just to wake you up. Everybody was created by God Almighty. You have a spirit. You have to feed it. That's the only way you heal the physical body. I'm not going to be around grumpy people. I'm not going to be around toxic people. So that means that I can't be around at least 98% of the population. At least 98% of the population. They're all on the edge. Okay? Or just waiting for someone to cut them off on the road, or for someone to get, like the cashier maybe, that's having a bad period and she's a little grumpy, so they can just tear a piece off of her. Yes or no? Yeah. Not happening. Not putting up with it. No. No, I will be nice to every grumpy person because they don't know they're grumpy. Because most of the world is grumpy because the world's constipated, isn't it? And if you're not constipated, you've got diarrhea. And diarrhea is constipation out of control because your body says, well, if you can't look after it, I will. So now you're going to crap your pants. And you're going to crap your pants and crap your pants and crap your pants until you understand that, guess what? You don't know how to let go on an emotional, physical level, and you put any crap in your mouth and you've only got 4 inches of consciousness. And if it fits in, you eat it. And that's it. And that's the deal. And that's the deal. And that's the deal. And I'm not upset. You know how long I get upset? 3 minutes. Anything more than that, I'm going to hurt myself. Okay? So don't expect me to come to a funeral and be moaning and groaning. Don't expect me to be talking about a war that's going on that is BS and everybody else is falling for it. Don't expect me to go drama trauma. Let me see the worst thing happen today and I'll sit back here and just watch everybody lose their shit. And I'll just sit here with a slight smile and say, just stay connected to your breath, Daryl. And then you can go in and try to see if you can pick up the pieces for these people and try to calm them down after they've fed their dysfunctional belief systems and they've created enough suffering and pain for themselves because they have to get their quota. Yes or no? Did I just make that up? I don't think so. I'm so on the ball about this. But you know, even if I'm as dumb as a stump, I've been doing this for 40 years. My first whole life coach class was when I was 27 years old. And I didn't even know what I was doing. By the time I was 30, I opened up the International Training Institute of Health for colon therapy. You know what? If you're not willing to risk, okay, every day, if you're not willing to do something different every day, what the hell are you doing here? Go, leave the planet and get a restart. Get a restart. Because your belief systems, you're not going to be able to climb up the ladder, the universal ladder. Does anybody know that that's the only ladder that matters, is the universal ladder? Does anybody know that we are light energy electrical magnetic beings and that when will we stop learning? When will we stop growing? Eternity. And then you can go ahead and believe in your heaven and your hell and your limbo. But most people are just in limbo and hell. Heaven is in the mind. Hell is in the mind. And limbo is when you're frozen. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And that's because of fear. False evidence appearing real. Why would you settle for the relationships that you have had? Why did you settle? Why did you settle for that relationship? For how many years?
9.
Why are you settling for the relationship that you have right now? Why are you settling for it? Because that's all you're worth. And unless you're being physically and emotionally abused, okay, guess what? That's living for you. You wouldn't know what to do with a guy that honored, loved, and respected you. You know what you would do? You'd destroy the relationship. Because guess what? You only have what you have because of your belief systems. Oh, I don't like him at all. Then why'd you go back to him? Because it was time for you to get a swat. This is your last day here, right? So I might as well make it a good one.
Bring it on.
Let's just make it a good one. Why are you in the relationship that you're in when you don't feel loved? When you don't feel any action, you don't feel any excitement, you don't feel any challenge. Why? Don't answer it. Just think about it. Why are you in the relationship that you're in? See, here's the deal, guys. 99.9% of the population are in crappy relationships. But because you're all in crappy relationships, that's as good as it gets. You have nothing to compare to. It's the truth. Speak the truth.
In love.
What?
In love.
In love what?
And
You
love.
speak the truth with love.
I do, because guess what? All I want you to do is to fall in love with yourself. If you just, where would you be? What would you see? How would you feel? Who would you be with if you had unconditional love for yourself and you deserved everything, which everyone does? Your life would not look like it does right now, would it? Whose life would look like it? Whose life would be exactly like it is if you felt that way? One person in this room. That's right. I'm better. I'm trying to tell you something. One day I said this. I'm going to come up against, okay? 1 second here. I'm flickering. Let's see if it's on this other phone. Okay. Call Dr. Ben. Can you tell him I'm on a live and I'll be with him in 5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, that'll be my last one today. Okay, so I just want to tell you that what I did was this, okay? I decided that I was going to go against the grain. I decided that I was going to push back. I decided that I was going to mind my own business, and I didn't care. What?
It hung up.
No, but now you got to call him. Call Dr. Ben, because he's just going to keep calling. Call Dr. Ben. So, thank you very much. So I decided that I didn't care what everybody thought because I didn't like what anybody was thinking. I don't care for any systems out there, none of them. I'm going to create my own world. And if anybody wants to join me, that's fine, but I don't need anybody else. And guess what? When I say that, I'm not saying I don't want to be social. I don't want a tribe. What do you think I'm creating Braveheart Nation for? I wasn't happy with random friends. I'm putting out a call to the world. Braveheart leaders, let's come together and let's all just blow this thing up with imagination and creation. And let's everybody be different. Let's have many different colors, many different languages, many different belief systems, short, tall. Okay, from Africa to Montreal, whatever the case may be. I want a tossed salad, and I want real thinkers. I want people that know how to live in the conscious moment and own it. 95% of the day, not 5% of the day. I hope you know this. You do know, right? that 9,999 people can only be in the conscious moment 5% of the day. And that's why the diaper's coming back on our face this fall. Okay, because now we're going to have to deal with the avian. Yeah. Okay, all right. So avian, what does avian stand for? Bird. But forget the bird. What about just learning how to fly? First, love yourself. Why couldn't you do that? What would happen if you just totally loved yourself today and you did everything 100% out of love for yourself? How many people would you hurt? It's okay. Nobody knows I'm talking to you. How many would you hurt? I'm asking her.
None.
How many? None. But you're going to hurt one person all day long today. And who would that be?
Not me.
Yes, it will be. And I'll be watching you then. And I'll come for you every time I see you do it. And understand something. You're unconscious of your subconscious programming. And I see you hurt all day long. You go in and out and in and out. Yes or no? But today you're not going to do it at all. You have to be conscious of it. That means that you have to put sticky notes all over in your car and at eye level in every room in your house. You have to do it in the sticky notes. Okay? I love myself. 3, 2, 1, I got this. A new sheriff in town. Okay? All right? You know, you take a look in your Braveheart book. There's only like 150 sticky notes in there you can make. And guess what? You're all insane. Yes or no? So why don't you be insanely happy instead of insanely miserable? See, when you get to the point that you totally unconditionally love yourself, you don't care what other people think, and you wish them the best, and you love them, and you wish that they would love themselves. But you're not going to take it personal. The day that you no longer take anything personal on this planet, the day that you no longer need approval for totally falling in love with yourself, oh yeah, but guess what? Every person that has, not everyone, but there'll be certain people that have certain religions that'll go, you're going to hell for that. Anybody that lets themselves off the hook and gets rid of all their chokeholds, they've got to go to hell. Because unless you live hell while you're on earth, you don't get to have heaven. Who made that up? What mental case? And every one of you fell for it. I fell for it. My father taught it. And I'm not upset with my father. You know what? He woke me up. Okay, he woke me up. And you all fell for it, and you're still falling for it. Because guess what? Do you know what's stopping all of you? Your subconscious beliefs. Do you know what's way back in there really deep? Religion. I never went to church. I don't care. You've got it. You got the good old religion. You got the good old guilt. You got the good old judgment that if you don't get judged down here, you're going to get it in the afterlife. I call BS. I call BS. All right? Whether you want to believe this or not, those psycho elite, they're allowed to reign. Are they allowed to reign?
Yes.
They've always reigned. Oh, but God's coming. Someone's coming. They're going to put a stop to all this. Oh, they're all going to go to jail. Show me where they've went to jail. Any of them throughout history. Why don't you do that? They always get a sacrificial lamb so that the majority go, okay, well, it's better than nothing. They gave us that one guy. You know, they look at us and think we're morons. And understand something. The stories they come up with and the things that they tell us and the things that they say to us and the things that we swallow, they just go, let's try this one. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Hey, guys, this is just too easy. But whether you want to believe it or not, in the universe, the tyrants, the psychos, the murderers, they have the right to be here just as much as you. And they were here to challenge you to grow. Yeah. Oh, but somebody's coming to end all this. Really? I think I've had enough of hearing about this. You know what? When's somebody going to come and start your life? When are you going to go and decide that you deserve everything? A beautiful, healthy body. A beautiful home. The one you've always wanted. The car you would like to drive. There's nothing wrong with this stuff. You know what? You might as well go and get what you want because most people believe they don't deserve anything. And you're not going to be taking anything from anyone because everybody can have everything they want on this planet, and there's still more. But because you don't have an imagination, you live like this. So because people have belief systems, they're going to judge me and go, who does he think he is? I'll tell you who I am. I was created by God Almighty, and I'm going to act like it. Okay? I am the Son of God. And now guess what? I can say that. But now, now I can't say it. But then a priest could say, and we are all children of God. So now I said I'm the Son of God. Oh my God, does he think he's Jesus? So you got to watch what you say. I mean, everything is just psycho here. I didn't say I was Jesus. If I said I was Jesus, I'd say I was Jesus. I just said I'm the Son of God, and I'm going to act like it. Is that okay?
Yes.
I'm going to walk around with my chin up, my shoulders back, and I'm going to decide what I want. I'm going to go get it, and guess what? Everything that I want, I will never be taking anything from anyone. I will be giving to everyone to show them that, you know what? You have to become the light, not look for the light. Go to the light. No, there's no light to go to. You are the light. The light is inside. It's an understanding, not a understanding, because we're under no one. I will bow under no one. Oh yeah, look at how people try to scare me. Canadian government tried to scare me. Marketplace. Oh yeah, they're still at me. They're still trying to get at me. And they're always going to try to get at me. I'm on their hit list. You know, eventually they'll get tired. But the thing is, it's taxpayers' money that they're coming after me with. You know, if it was their own money, they wouldn't do it. But you know, they're going to shut me up. They're not going to shut me up. I'm never going to shut up. But I will become more quiet. Why is that? Because eventually I won't want to do this. Do you know how much energy this takes to get on here and try to hold the line for people you don't even know but you love, and they don't even know you love them? But the reality is they think you're just a psycho because their belief systems are just so out of it, and they're out of it. They're out of it. My God, you don't even think about what you put in your mouth, less what you put in your mind. Why don't you go home and take your clothes off and look at your body? You should be at any age. You should be 90 years old and look great. You shouldn't be dragging your leg. I had 3 people dragging their leg, and they were younger than me or around my age. And I mean, they were in pain and suffering. Medical system just wants to cut you open, radiate you, burn you, whatever. And they don't even know it. These medical doctors are not intelligent. They're just programmed. That's it. And yes, you know what? It's a great thing that we have medical care. They saved my daughter. But guess what? They saved my daughter. I don't know who else they saved. Oh, another medical breakthrough. There's no medical breakthroughs. There's medical breakdowns. You all got sucked in. Who wants a fake hip? Who wants some mesh? Who wants a stent? Who wants a screw? Who wants a plate? I'll tell you who does. People that hate themselves. They can't get rid of enough parts. Meanwhile, we're being sold off by the pound and you don't even know it. Go ahead. You might think that your husband is ahead of you and more high vibrational. Wait till you become more high vibrational than him. He's going to go, no, you're going to vibrate where I am. You find me a person that allow you to just get your wings and fly. You good luck on that one. I'll tell you something. Lori can't fly high enough for me because the higher my partner flies, the more she challenges me to fly. But you guys don't even know you have wings. So you can't fly. First, love yourself. That's how you get your wings back. That's how you get everything back. Daryl, Grandpa's not grumpy. He's constipated. And that's right. He can't let go because when he was a child, he was promised things just like you were. And you didn't get them because they told you were just going to have them, didn't they? Oh, we're all going to have a great life. It's amazing. Yes, blah, blah, blah. And it never showed up, did it? Yeah. Where's the knight in shining armor? How's that working for you? Huh? He looks like he's 2 to 3 months pregnant, maybe even up to 15 months pregnant, doesn't he? Okay? There's no knight in shining armor coming, girls. You know what? You need to get your feminine power back. I'm telling you that right now. And you demand to be treated like a queen. You demand. You demand it. Nobody gives you anything unless you demand it today. You have to demand it. Look, if the world believes they don't deserve anything, what are you going to get from people who believe they don't deserve anything? you're going to get nothing. And so when you decide you want to become something and then go to everything, you're going to get rebellion from them, aren't you? You selfish thing, you. You think that you can go and work out like that? You think that you can just go and spend that money and eat well and treat yourself well? You think that you can look like this? You think that you can act like this? You can't. You get down with me. Boom. I'm only getting started. You can believe it or not believe it. My only goal is to honor, respect that which created the universe and to make that proud. I could care about the world. I'm not out to try to make the world proud because the world is not proud of itself. You're not proud of yourself yet. You're not proud of yourself yet. I want to be around people that are proud of themselves. Because why? Because I want to stay proud of myself. You want to hang around a family of self-loathers and people that'll eat anything and then tell you that they have a good diet, and they have a great relationship. Oh yeah, really, with themselves and their family. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just calling out to everybody out there that says, hey, do you want more? How would you like to find your authentic self and actually finish the game? That's what I teach people to do. Do I or don't I? Yes. Say I don't then, if I'm lying. I've helped you get back on track so that you can finish the game. Because there's only one game, and Jesus taught us that. Unconditional love for ourselves and everybody else. That is the game. That's the only game in town. That's the only game in the universe. And you still can't play it. Let me see how well you do when you go home to try to play it with your friends and your family. Ha ha. You selfish thing, you. And do you know what selfish thing you means? You're supposed to live our life. You're not supposed to live your life. And guess what? The only reason why we're all slaves on this planet is because we're slaves to each other. And I am slaves to no woman. I am slaves to no man, no government, no system. And you all better know that now. Because it'll never happen. And guess what? People are going, boy, he's pretty arrogant. I'll pray for him. They're going to come and get him. No, they're not. They're not after me. They're after the what? The low-hanging fruit. Listen, these psychos are so lazy, okay? They're just going to sit back and watch you all eat yourself and drink yourself and think yourself to death. And that's all they have to do now. Tell me, if they decided not to do another thing, I'm telling you right now that I believe that probably about 30 to 40% of the population will be gone by 2030. And you're going to go, no way. Really? An autoimmune disease means that you're actually dying inside. I hope you know that. 86 to 92% of the population, it depends on what state you go into or what state you're in. Okay? Okay, have an autoimmune disease, which means you are attacking yourself on an emotional level first and then on a physical level. All I want everybody to know here is that I wish you the best day. I wish you the best moment. All you had to do was love yourself. All you had to do is listen to the vibration of what comes out of somebody's mouth. And if it doesn't meet your vibration, then you walk away from it. You don't answer it. You don't participate in it. That's all you had to do. But because you have no value, you'll eat anything, drink anything, and you'll listen to anything. And you'll become anything. Why? Because we're emotional beings that need love. And if you're not self-serving it to yourself, you will take contaminated love and stay in a relationship. How long? How long would you stay in a relationship for?
9 years.
You 9 years? How long would you stay for?
15.
15 years. How long would you stay for?
9.
Yeah, but you're not out yet. So how are you going to change it? So if you can't change it, do you think you should get out? Do you think you should get out?
Yes.
And look at the struggle you're having with getting out. You feel like a bad person. You feel like you failed the church. You feel like you failed God. You feel like you failed your friends. You feel like you failed your partner. You didn't fail anyone. You're failing. You're just failing. Okay, if I did something and I'm failing at it, but I keep doing it, will I keep failing at it? Oh, I don't know. I'm just going to leave that with me.
Which is insane.
Right? Which is insane. So you might as well be insanely happy. Oh my God, you're insane for leaving me. That's right, I know. I don't want to break up relationships, but you're not going to break up something that's already broken. I don't know if you know that. Just, you might want to think about that one.
That's right.
You might want to give it a little thought. See, people go, he's too sarcastic. No, you have to understand it's the only way I can crack the coconut open so you can get to the juice. And the juice is unconditional self-love, but you're never going to have it until you understand you have to repeat something with passion and purpose 10,000 times. 10,000 times before it becomes a prominent, dominant belief. You have to practice smiling. Like right now when I'm talking, you should be smiling. Smiling is the only thing that's going to set you free. It is, and you know that. How do you feel when you smile more this week? You've been smiling more than you this last probably 8 days you smiled more than you smiled in the whole year. So what do you think of that? Lighter. Yeah, why do you want to be heavy? Because guess what? Nobody took you serious when you were younger. And you said, if I don't smile and I act like a man that's mad, then I'll get my way. How's that working for you? Better watch out, you might grow a penis. Okay, but then that's happening with people lately. Oh, and just know this, guys. I want to tell you something right now. This transgender thing, this is not political for me. I have no position to take on it, but you know the pain and suffering they're going in? Try to put a fake vagina on a man, and then that man has to put an insert, okay, a dildo at least 3 or 4 times into the hole because the hole wants to seal up. Do you know how much infection and mold is in there? Do you know the pain they go through? And then if you want a penis, they have to take from your wrist right up to your elbow, and then you've got no skin there, and then it's like, it looks like it's demented. You get to look at that for the rest of your life, and then they use that as your penis. And, and guess what? And then when you have to take testosterone because you're a woman and you want to become a man, this is true. This is a true story. I'm not going to tell you who it is. But this person is taking testosterone to become a man. And guess what? That thinned out her uterus. And she went and made love to a guy the other day. And she almost bled to death because it thins out the uterus. So guess what? I just want everybody to understand this. All of a sudden, transgender. Listen, I'm not telling you not to do it or do it. I'm just trying to tell you it never existed before. And the reality is this, it's Nazi Germany, and it's come right into our hospitals. And that's what's going to be happening, and it's going to just so screw up everything. So the world is allowed to do whatever it wants. It's none of my business. I just think about all the suffering that these young children are going to go through because the parents couldn't make a stand, and that also the government works for an internal government that is, I would call the devil, evil entity. And this is all about bringing Nazi Germany into the country and destroying everybody's identity and then just getting us to go to war with each other. You know, they just sit there and smoke a joint and drop a hit of acid, and then they go, oh, well, man, let's try this one. And then they go and put it out there, and then we fall for it. So understand, you are allowed to be whatever you want to be. I love you anyway. But just know this. Parents, when your child wants to do this, you make sure that you show them the horrific crap that they're going to have to go through the rest of their life to become something that they aren't. And they may feel they are inside, and I'm not saying that they aren't that, but to actually change your physical, to have a vagina, and it's just a cut hole inside yourself. So it wants to seal up. So you're always having to put this inside of yourself, and the pain, and then the mold and the bacteria that get in it because it's not really a vagina. So I'm only going down the road a little bit because I'm not going to stay here. I'm just trying to tell you that I feel so bad for these young kids. I feel so bad for them. You are never going to hear these stories. You're going to hear the child, the teenager that's lost. And because, you know why they're lost? Because the parents didn't stand up against COVID. Because the parents didn't stand up for unconditional love for their children. Unconditional love. But that's not the parents' fault because the parents never had unconditional love for themselves except when they were a baby. And then they got that kicked out of them. So that's all that these cycles have to do is get rid of unconditional love, and we will destroy ourselves and each other. Do you think that people have unconditional love with what's going on? Do you think that people have unconditional love with all the suffering and the hate and the anger and the body manipulations and the vaping and the toking and the drinking and the eating everything that's not real anymore? We don't even eat real food. We don't have real personalities. We don't have real relationships. What do we have? I'll tell you what we have. The place can go right down the shitter. Doesn't matter. And if it gets too bad, I will quit working and I'll just go. I don't need much. Okay? I don't even wear shoes. God, I left here last night, went to get my hair cut, and went shopping to the supermarket, and I forgot my shoes here and said, who cares? Because when I live in Mexico, I just go everywhere. I go to a 4-star, 5-star restaurant, and I'll walk without shoes. Because guess what? All shoes are made out of petroleum. They're not made out of rubber anymore. So you got to get rubber, or you got to buy all leather shoes. They got to be all leather. People don't know this. So then I walk around my bare feet and people go, oh yeah. Or how about in Mexico, people would come from all around the world, dressed nice, but in bare feet. Right off the bat, they're going, I flew to see this monkey. But guess when I started opening my mouth, they know they didn't come and see a monkey, did they? And also I'm the only one that was grounded in the room.
Yes.
Understand something. I will never fit in. I will never fit in. And I will never get done in. I'm born to win. I am not selfish, but I'm selfish enough to know that I am love. And if I can't love myself first and foremost, then I can't do it for you. How can I teach a course? Listen, did I crack everybody's coconut this week?
Yes.
Okay, did I crack it? And at times you just felt like, but did you feel loved?
Yes.
Okay. Try to dance that high wire. And then go on here and talk like this. This is why I won't let TikTok comment. Because people have never seen me before and it's just outrageous. Who does he think he is? And that's what people think. Who does he think he is to unconditionally love himself? To break away from everything that the majority does. Well, the majority is killing themselves, guys. And if the majority is killing themselves, does that mean that the majority is going to be staying? No. They're not staying. Why doesn't anybody just go and look at a picture from 1970s on the beach? And go look at one from this year.
I sent you one.
Yeah, but go look at it. Go look at it. And then guess what? Guess what? People are dying. But if everybody's dying, you think it's as good as it gets. And guess what? We're only getting started. If you're in Stuart, Florida, or around the area, and you want to come and see a real psycho, I'll be lecturing tomorrow night here at the Presbyterian Church.
1715.
1715.
Northwest.
What? Northwest?
Northwest Pine Lake Drive.
Okay, 1715 Northwest Pine Lake Drive. And then next week I'm lecturing in McKinney, Texas. And then the following week I'm lecturing in Kelowna, British Columbia. And then I'll be going to Puerto Rico to do some trainings with some doctors to train them. And then I will be coming to Barrie, Ontario. I'll be there in June, and I'll be there for 3 weeks. And I'll be doing a Braveheart Health and Healing Circle. And I'll also be doing a whole life coach certification. Okay? And then I will be going from there to, and my son, Dr. Sage Wolfe, will be doing a non-surgical, and we'll also be doing a pelvic restoration course, which is 3 days for women only. Okay? Because you have to have a vagina. Okay? You cannot make one. Okay? All right. Next thing is I will then be going to Chicago, and we'll be doing the same thing in Chicago, which is Bolingbrook, Chicago. I'll also be going to Calgary, Alberta, and also be going to Australia. And it looks like we could be going to South Africa. Yes, the couple that wants me to come to South Africa, can you please call me at 469-861-9454. And you can call me on WhatsApp, and I'd love to come to South Africa. I will go anywhere where people want me. And don't worry, I will not come where you don't want me. Because why would I do that? That would be called pain and suffering, and I don't do that. You know what? I'm never going to go into pain or suffering for you. but I will hold the line. I will help you roar because you're so much more. And God knows I love you. And you may not believe that, but I love you. It doesn't matter. You find out. You ever come to see me, you can say anything you want to me. You can be anything you want. It doesn't matter. We were all created by the same God, and you better never forget that. And the God that actually created us only wants us to be everything and have everything. Okay? All right? There are no rules. Okay? These are all fools, and a lot of fools wrote these books. Okay? And listen to me. Let's see if you can go for 1 hour with unconditional love for yourself. 1 hour, 1 hour, a power, 1 hour, power hour. Okay? All right? Have a beautiful day, guys. Talk to you later.